Good morning all students, Abhay Shukla this side, and today we are going to start the chapter number 2 from a Beehive. Okay, and the title is The Sound of Music. Before going further, let us talk about some special features of this chapter. The chapter is all about music. In this chapter we will study the role of music in the life of a person. Music is the biggest depression booster. Okay, if you are in trouble, if you are in problem, if you have anything that is actually puzzling you, creating trouble for you, go for music, and this music will definitely demolish all the problems that you are facing. Okay, and secondly, this chapter actually has two sections, section 1 and section 2. The first section is totally all about a deaf girl who neither can see or nor can also hear. Okay, so Evelyn Glennie, the name of the character is Evelyn Glennie. We will study about Evelyn Glennie. And the second is the well-known personality of music, Mr. Ustad Bismillah Khan. We will study about Ustad Bismillah Khan in the second section. Okay, so first we are going to begin the section 1, that is Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. How can a person listen, understand music if he or she is not capable of it? Just think about it. So such is the quality of music. Such the music is that can produce senses even in the deep person. Okay. So now discuss the chapter line by line. Rush hour crowd jostle for position on the underground train platform. The first beginning line is talking about the underground platform situation of a railway platform. Okay, rush hour crowd jostle for position. Everybody, whenever we are approaching to a railway platform, there we used to jostle. We used to work very hard to make our place so that we can board the train firstly. Okay, a slight girl looking younger than her 17 years. There was a very thin girl who is looking younger than 17, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of the approaching train. So she can feel the vibration of the approaching train. That's why though she was nervous yet she was very excited. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenagers fresh from a Scottish form. So it was going to be her first day in the prestigious, very reputed Royal Academy of Music, where in London. And it is enough, it is frightening enough for any teenager that is a fresher from a Scottish form. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenges than most, and the challenge was she was profoundly deep. But this challenge is nothing in front of her courage. What she has faced even more than this. And what was that? She was profoundly deaf. So Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. It was not suddenly that she lost her hearing suddenly, but actually it was gradual, slowly. Her mother remembers something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. So her mother remembers noticing something was wrong. One day what happened, when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano, they called her name and she didn't move. At that time, her mother remembers noticing something wrong. I suddenly realized that she had not heard. She realized that Evelyn is not actually capable enough to listen. Definitely there is something wrong, says Isabel Glennie. Isabel Glennie is the name of Evelyn's mother. Okay. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. So for a certain period of time, we can conceal, we can hide our problems from our relatives, from our teachers, from everyone. But it cannot be for a very long period of time. So this same condition was for Evelyn Glennie. So for a short time, she was able to conceal her problem. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. But when she became 11-year-old and her performance in the academics, they were actually deteriorated gradually. Then her headmistress urged her parents. She forced her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So how she actually lost her hearing capacity due to gradual nerve damage. So they were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. So as they went to a doctor to consult a doctor, that's why doctor had advised them to take her to a specialist. They should provide her hearing aids and she should send to a special school that is actually meant for deaf people. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Evelyn says, just as I heard all these things, I came to know that I am deaf. So suddenly everything was blank for her. Now, but Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. But as she was very determined, a girl, she decided that I will not give up. I will not accept my destiny. I will do something unusual and I want to live a normal life and I want to pursue my interest in music. One day she noticed the girl playing xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. So one day what happened? She saw a friend of her, she was playing xylophone. This is the image of xylophone. Okay, so she saw xylophone and she also decided that she wanted to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. But Ron Forbes spotted her potential and he began to tuning two large drums into two different notes. And he started teaching Evelyn Glennie by using two large drum of different notes. Okay, don't listen to ears, he would say. And what was his method? What was his trick? He emphasized not on hearing. He insisted not on hearing, but try to sense it some other way. But try to feel it in some other ways. Says Evelyn. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up. So just as the teacher Ron Forbes guided her, she realized suddenly that she could feel the thumping of the large drum from the upper body part. Okay, from the waist up part, she could feel the higher drum thumping. Okay, and from the lower one, from the waist down, and from the waist down, she could feel the second drum. Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of the body. So as Forbes repeating the things very often and she was realizing the things very properly. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibration. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. So now she was able to understand the music, sound, vibration. And now what does she need? She only determination and hard work. Okay. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with the youth orchestra and by the time she was 16. So from that moment she never turned back. She also toured the United Kingdom with the youth orchestra and by the time she was 16. So when she was 16 years old, she also toured the United States and she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. So she also auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored the highest marks in the history of that institute. So she gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performance. At the end of her 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. So within very short period of 3 years course, she has captured all the famous awards of music. And for all this, Evelyn wouldn't accept any hint or heroic achievement. She didn't take any hint. Okay, if you work hard and know where you are going, you will go there. Very important line. If you know your capacity, and if you are working hard for that, then definitely success will be yours. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with the mastery of some 1,000 instruments. And she became famous as the master of percussionist who knows more than thousands of instruments and active international setting. So it is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. So whenever anybody saw her working very hard without hearing, it was a shock for him or her. In 1 or 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble. So the men who have bushy beards, okay, those who have beards like me at present, they actually give me trouble. She laughed. Actually, why? Because it is not just watching the lips. I am not only paying attention on lips, but on the entire face. Okay, on the entire face, she speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. So it was her actually language, Lehza in Hindi, Scottish. My speech is clear because I could hear it till I was 11. So why she was able to speak properly, as when she became deaf when she was 11 years old. So till 11 she was able to hear all the things. She says, but that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master this Japanese. But this doesn't explain the theory, how she was able to know French and also the basic Japanese language. As for music, she explains it goes in through every part of my body. So she used to talk about music, that music is actually tingled in each and every part of, in every atom of my body. It tingles in my skin, my cheekbones, even in my hairs. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up from the stick into her fingertips. So xylophone, when she can feel the sound passing through her fingertips. Okay. While learning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. And when she was talking about, she was just busy with drums, at that time while leaning against those drums, she could feel the vibration of the drums. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration passes through her bare feet and up her legs. Whenever she is on the wooden platform, at that time too, she just remove her shoes so that she can feel the vibration properly. So not surprisingly, it delights her audience. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society prestigious soloist award of the year award. So it was not a surprise that Evelyn delights the audience, and in 1991 she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So she also secured the Soloist of the Year award from the very famous Philharmonic Society, says Master Percussionist James Blades. So God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. So this is the remark of James Blades. He said, though God have taken her hearing capacity, but have given her back something extraordinary. And what we hear, she feels for more deeply than any of us. That is why she expressed music so beautifully. So as she sings music, as she knows all the concept of music, that's why she can express music more beautiful than us. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musician, but the reward are enormous. So she said that I am too much devoted to work. I cannot survive without working very hard, especially related to music. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concert in the prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to the class for the young musician. So from regular concerts, she also give free concerts for the prisoners and for the hospitals where there are a lot of patients are there. She also gives high priority to the classes for the young musician. And Richling of the Beethoven Fund for the Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. So this is the remark of Anne Richling, and she said that Evelyn is a shining inspiration for the deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. Now after watching Evelyn Glennie's growth, each and everybody is determined who is deaf that we can go up to any limit. Okay. So Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She had brought percussion to the front of the orchestra, and she has just fixed the position of percussion in the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, and she is, as Evelyn Glennie was also an inspiration for those who are physically not impaired, okay, physically impaired. People who took to her and say, if she can do it, I also can. And those who are looking at Evelyn Glennie, they said, if Evelyn can do, then we also can do it. Okay, and not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions, and apart from this, she has given also enormous pleasure to a lot of people. So now students, we are going to begin the part 2 simultaneously. Okay, the Shehnai of the Bismillah Khan. So Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument Kalpungi in the royal residence if it had a shrill unpleasant sound. So Emperor Aurangzeb, as we know that Mughal emperor, and he banned playing of musical instrument called pungi because it has a very shrill and unpleasant sound. Okay, so pungi became the generic name for a reeded noisemaker. So actually it was very, it is having a very shrill sound. That's why it was given the name pungi. Okay, few had thought that it would one day be revived. It was not expected by anyone that one day it would be revived by anyone. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Then what happened? A barber, a family of barbers, those who have a reach to the professional, to the royal palace, they decided that we will improve the quality of pungi. So he chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi. So he took a hollow pipe which is broader and longer than pungi and made 7 holes on the top of it, and there he made 7 holes on it. Okay, when he played on it, closing and opening of the some of the holes, when he closing and opening, okay, closing and opening of the holes, some soft melodious sounds were produced. So suddenly a very soft and melodious sound produced from it. Okay, and he played the instrument before the royalty and everyone was inspired. And he also played that instrument and everybody was inspired. The instrument so different from the pungi had to be given a new name. Now actually the instrument was totally different from pungi, and that's why it has to be given a new name. This is the image of pungi and this is Shehnai. Okay, so as the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, the instrument was named Shehnai. Okay, as it was played in the Shah's chamber and was played by nai, that's why it is called Shehnai. Okay, so this is the history behind the name of Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for the reason it is still played in the temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Now Shehnai became the auspicious sound of the any Indian marriage. Indian marriage cannot possibly if there is no Shehnai. You must have seen in the movies of the 1980s, 1990s that those movies cannot actually be completed without Shehnai. So in the past, the Shehnai was part of the noble or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at the royal court. In the past, Shehnai was of such a great importance that it is one of part of the noble or the 9 sins. Till recently it was used in temples and weddings. So till then it was only used in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to the Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now we are going to study about Ustad Bismillah Khan, as the credit for bringing Shehnai to the front of all is the credit only goes to the Sir Ustad Bismillah Khan. So as a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Dilli Danda near a pond in the ancient state of the Dumrao near Bihar. When Bismillah Khan was a small kid of 5 years old, he used to play beside a pond where in the state of Dumrao in Bihar. Okay, he would regularly go to the nearby Bihari temple to sing Bhojpuri Chaita, and he also went to Bhojpuri temple. There he used to Bihari temple. There he used to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. Okay, you may say a bhajan. Chaita means a bhajan. Okay, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. So a big laddu of 1.25 kg. Okay, he earned after singing that song. This happened 80 years ago. And the little boy has travelled for to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. From there, from that particular moment, this particular boy had travelled so far and earned the biggest civilian award, that is Bharat Ratna. Okay. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah Khan belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. So Bismillah Khan took birth on 21st March 1916 and he belongs to a well-known musician family of Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Baks Khan was the Shahnai Nawaz of Bhojpuri King's court. So he was having music in his tone from the very beginning. So his grandfather named Rasul Baks Khan was also Shahnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri King's court. His father Paigambar Baks and other paternal ancestors were also great Shahnai players. So the name of Ustad Bismillah Khan father is Paigambar Baks and other ancestors were also the great Shahnai players. The young boy took to music early in life. He started understanding the concept of music from the beginning of his life. At the age of 3, when her mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, Bismillah Khan was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shahnai. So when her mother took Bismillah Khan to her own house in Banaras, he learned over there and watched Shahnai when his uncle used to play Shahnai for hours. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baks to Vishnu temple of the Banaras. So very soon he was a regular visitor to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baks was employed to play the Shahnai. And at that temple Baks was actually a Shahnai player. So Ali Baks would play the Shahnai and Bismillah would see captivated for the arts of on the end. So Ali Baks, he used to play Shahnai and Bismillah Khan would sit for hours and continually watching on Ali Baks. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. So very slowly he started to understand the concept of playing Shahnai and he spent hours with the Shahnai. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya, the bank of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. For so many times, the temple of Balaji, the temple of Mangala Maiya and also the banks of Ganga, they became the favorite place for Bismillah Khan where he can spend hours in practicing Shahnai. Okay? The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the ranges of the Shahnai. So the ragas that are beyond the ranges of Shahnai, Bismillah Khan was capable to produce those ragas and he was getting inspiration from the flowing water of the holy river Ganga. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad music conference. So at the age of 14, Bismillah Khan went with his uncle to Allahabad music conference. At the end of the recital, Ustad Fayyaz Khan patted the young back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it. If you will keep working hard, definitely you will rock one day." This was the statement of Ustad Fayyaz Khan. So with the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, came Bismillah's big break. When in 1938, when the All India Radio began, it opened. Okay, Bismillah Khan got his first big break. He soon became the often heard Shahnai player on radio, and he was having so melodious sound that he became the very often heard Shahnai player on radio. When India gained independence on 15 August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shahnai. So when India got its independence on 15 August 1947, Bismillah Khan greeted India first with his Shahnai. He poured his heart into the Raga Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Triest with Destiny speech. So he had introduced his ragas, his music quality to such a renowned quality audience, which is having Mahatma Gandhi, also Jawaharlal Nehru, who also later had given their famous speech that is famous as Triest and with Destiny. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro. Maestro means master, okay, that he gifted him priceless Persian carpet and other sovereigns. So when Bismillah Khan went to Afghanistan, so the king of Afghanistan, he became so much captivated by Bismillah Khan that he offered a very famous carpet to him, Persian carpet, and also many valuable metals. The king of Afghanistan was not only one to be fascinated by the Bismillah's music, and he was not the first and the last who was captivated by the Bismillah's music. Film director Mahesh Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah's play at the festival that he named the film after the instrument called Bunduki Sarai. So very famous film director named Vijay Bhatt, he was so much famous, he was so much captivated by the Bismillah's music that he named one of the song Bunduki Sarai. The film was a hit and one of the old Bismillah's Khan composition, Dil Ka Khilona had toot gaya. So this became a part of this particular film, turned out to be nationwide chartbuster. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, despite getting a very huge success in the Bollywood, Bismillah Khan ventures in film were limited to only two. He only participated in only two films, okay? And Vijay Bhatt's Gunjuti Shahnai and Vikram Srinivasa's Kannada venture Sanadi Apna. So these are the two films in which he had given his music. I just cannot come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. So why he refused to be a part of the film world, as he cannot be a artificiality, he cannot accept artificiality. So awards and recognition came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. His fame was of so standard that he was also invited by the United States of America to sing his famous, to enjoy the famous songs on prestigious Lincoln Hall Center. He also took part in the world's exposition in Montreal, in the KANNAUJ Art Festival and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So well known that he became internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, KANNAUJ Ustad Bismillah Khan. So auditorium was also opened for him on his name, and the name was auditorium was KANNAUJ Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. So he also received Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. And in 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. And he was also awarded in 2001 the Bharat Ratna. Such was his talent. It's not very easy to secure, to get a Bharat Ratna. The Bharat Ratna. So with the coveted award resting on his chest and eyes glinting with the royal happiness, he said, all I would like to say is, teach your children. He was very happy, and when that Bharat Ratna was actually on his chest, so he said, teach your children music. Teach Hindustani richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. Now Westerns are also following our music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahab is often fondly called. He is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remain him for the most wonderful towns of the world. So though it is true that Bismillah Khan had traveled abroad or so many countries, but even then, two places, the one is Dumrao and the another one is Banaras, they remain the favorite place for a lifetime. And why it was so? As a student of once actually wanted him to head a Sinai school in USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. So he offered one of the students of Ustad Bismillah Khan, he said that I will create temples for you there in USA, just come and join our institute as a head. But Khan Sahab asked him if he would be able to transport River Ganga as well. But what was the reply of Ustad Bismillah Khan? He said, can you please transfer River Ganga from India to USA? Is it possible? So that's why whenever I am in foreign country, I keep yearning to be a Hindustani. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the Holy Ganga, and while in Banaras, I miss the unique Mathap Dumrao. So such was his craze for his native places. When he is in Mumbai, he misses Banaras, and when he is in Banaras, he misses Mathap Dumrao. So Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts the devout Muslim like him can be very naturally play the Shahnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. He was of such a genuine talent that a very genuine Muslim like him can play Shahnai at the very famous Kashi Vishwanath temple. So such is the genius of Ustad Bismillah Khan. I hope students you have understood all the concept. If
any query is there in your mind, you are open to ask in the school WhatsApp group or English doubt removal group. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay connected. Stay alive. Thank you everyone.